Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will learn how to do a complete Spring Boot application project using. Yeah, before the coming to this video, you make sure that you have STS tool or whatever IntelliJ. Before the coming to this video, you make sure that you have STS tool or whatever IntelliJ as per your comfortable. I will come like I prefer the STS. Okay, let's start the project. And we have to first we have to take a click on file, click on view. We'll get an option called Spring Startup Project. Okay, click on Spring Project. It will open one this small page. Okay, we have to give to our project name. So in this video we will learn uh, about the user task management. How we can create a CRUD CRUD APIs for the user task management. We will learn how to create a CRUD APIs for the user task management in this video. I have given the project name as a task management, and whether Maven is a build tool and Java version is 17 I'm using. And also I have given the description like related to project you can use and the package name. Like it is a base package. How to give. Okay, I will move to next. Here we can select our whatever the dependency you needed and libraries you needed in your project. So first we needed like we are doing the Spring Web application. So I will choose because we have to choose the Spring Web for web application and MySQL driver for the database connection and also Spring Data JPA for persisting our Java objects into database. Okay, and also Spring Boot developers it will automatically reload if any changes done in our application. As of now, dependencies are enough. You can click on finish now. Now it is building the project structure and you can see it is building. You can see guys our project our project structure is ready now. Like we got some main Java files resources for the database. And these are the libraries and the runtime environment we need. Okay. This is the pom.xml, the most important. And I click on pom.xml. You can see whatever the dependency we chosen, it will come here. We added a Spring Data pasting starter like Spring Boot starting job and also dev tools can be added MySQL. So whatever dependency we will add, it will comes to pom.xml. Okay. Okay, let's start the building our application. Yeah, basically we are following the Spring MVC architecture. Okay. So we'll first start with the model. Okay, we'll take new package. Okay, I will give name as model and package name as a user model. Like class name is a user model. Okay, I finish. So I have created a sub package from the user task like com.task management into com.task management and model. So it will comes under the this base package is this one. So it is child package. Like this, we have to create few more package, like few more child packages. Okay. First, uh, we will create one more package called repository. Repository. We'll take name as a user repository. Whatever name is suitable for it will take. So one more package with class user repository is created. Okay, first we will work on this user model. So first, what user task management? Like in user task management, like we have username, whatever like the task ID we have, and also task description we have. Like user, sorry, task title. So we'll first take means task ID. Okay, we'll take string name as task user. I will take task title as a string. Task title. Yeah, I will take one more task description. Okay. So I have chosen four fields: the task ID, username, task title, and description. Okay. You have to take care of the data, like data, what data type it needs. The usernames always like it may be a string, like sometimes we can take numbers also. We can use string like task title and description also string. Whereas in like for a task ID, we can take as a integer along based like based on the requirements. Okay. So first we have to create a like getters and setters are okay, first we have to create a click on this click anywhere in the project and sorry, right click on the anywhere in the project and select source. We are getting some comments like here generate constructor using fields. So initialize our fields, we need a constructor. Okay. Let's click on finish. Okay, when our constructor is created, we can choose now a getter setter for accessing our fields. Okay, same right click on the anywhere in the project and select source and select generate getter setters. So select all. Okay, click on generate. So it is generated as getter setters for us. And we also taken on constructors for initialize our variables. So like this, we have to take any user model. We can take some few more methods like toString. Let's click on source. Let's click on toString, generate toString. It will generate a like default string, like override a string method. Okay. Now we can mention this class as a entity. Like the entity will make our class as a like entity will make mark our class as a what do you call it? The hibernate and annotation which will make our class for mapping our Java objects into database. Okay. We can also use the table name on which table you want to map. Okay, we can do the table name also. Name. Okay, will give user task. User task details. If we not provide this table name also, Spring will consider like this like the class name as a table name. It will map this class as a table name for this entity. Okay, we are annotated. Okay, okay. If it is a table, we need a one primary key. So I will take this as a primary key. We can in Hibernate we have to mention it is as a ID. So task ID is a primary key now. Okay. I think we done with the model class. Now we can create a repository for this class. So, so basically it is not a class. It should be interface. Okay, it is extends the JPA repository. Okay, JPA repository is coming from that we added data JPA, no, that dependency. Okay, type like we have to mention the class name here. What type of data we are processing? Okay, so I am passing class name as a user model. User model. User model. And ID means whatever the primary like we mentioned at ID in the model class, we have to mention this here. Okay, we'll take here we have to mention the integer. So what type of we data like whatever the data type the primary key, we have to mention here. Okay, now it is this repository is extending the JPA repository, which is having some inbuilt methods like we have save method, delete method, and also what you call remove method, what you find all method. We have different inbuilt methods which is coming from this JPA repository into this. Okay, we can also annotate this class with the repository. It will help us to like create a bean of this class. So the Spring container will what you call IOC container will create the bean of this class. Okay, I will take one more package now. Click on new class. Okay, I will take a controller. And we give the class name as task controller. Make sure you follow the naming conventions, like our class is always started with the capital letters, and also package will also like it should be there in the small letters only. Okay, let's click on finish. It will create one class called task controller. Okay, task controller means why we are writing the controller. Basically, we want to handle some request which is coming from the user. Like in the front end, we have UI. Like normally, we can take a website. User is first will visit to our website. He will see what are the services we are providing. What are the he can research about our website. He can contact through contact us through the website. How is contact like how they are contacting us through the UI only. No one knows what is doing in the who he will know doesn't know that what is going behind the scene. Okay, how the website is working. So behind the scene, our backend system is connected to front end through APIs. So first we have to create a APIs in the back to handle the request, user request. So to mark this class as a controller, so it will have to manage mention a rest control, user rest controller. So click okay. I choose a rest controller to handle the APIs from the back, like front end. We are creating APIs here to in order to do handle this request. We are having some business logic. So I will create this business logic in the separate called service. Okay, I will take one more class as a service in a different package. Click on new, create class. Sorry, I have to click on this base package. Click on new, select class name as a service. Service will provide the required business logics which are written like whatever the APIs we return in a controller. So I will take the class name as a task service. Make this class as a at service. It will make sure that it will create a beans in a Spring as a container. Okay, I will go to controller again. So we are taking here we are okay. We have to take a object of service class. So I will take with the help of the auto-add annotation, that is task service. Task service. Okay. So I will mention auto wire. How we are getting this object of the service class, because when we return a at service on this class, the Spring container IOC container mark this mark this as a bean. So it will create an object in the Spring IOC container. It will give the whatever object we have already have an object in the Spring container. It will give the same that object only. Instead of creating new object, we are taking the same object from the Spring IOC container. Okay, with the help of the auto wire annotation, it will inject our dependency into the like in the control in this class. I will take like first method as a to handle a user request. First, I will take user request from. Okay, when a user want to save like send what you call save his task or send his task, I will return a method called public response entity. I will pass type as a. So what kind of class we are saying? Oh, like we are taking user model. We want to save this model. Okay. I will take save task as a method name. In save task, what we are sending inside as a request body, we are sending this model. So user model, user model. So we have to return now, return response new response entity user model. What we have to return like this. So I will take service here. I will take service class of the service dot create a method called save task house. We can give same name or different name also. So I have to create this method on the service method, which will give the required business logic to handle our user request. So we click on this. So it is creating one method. So we can return now, and also we can user model. So it is passing this to this method. Okay, I have to pass this in the user model. So we are passing, basically we are passing this model class object. So basically we are passing whatever the user request, like what are the data, whatever the data is coming from the JSON, it is binded to this user model. User model we are passing, user model we are passing to service class. So so before this, to save our data into database, I will take first I will inject the repository repository dependency in the service class. So first I will look for a user repository to, and I will make sure mention the auto word application annotation. So it will inject our dependency. So now to save our data through this repository object, we are calling a method repository for save. What we can see that save has save entity, and we are basically passing on user model like class. Class is also called the entity. We So as of now, we can use this method, save else of entity. What kind of object you want to save? So we are passing user model here. What is business logic related? So I will try to create one more user request. So he can now save his data, and when he want to view his task detail, he can use this method. So click that data of class or entity. I will what kind of data we are using, user model data we can get all data, get all task, whatever the naming convention you can choose, which is suitable for your project or even your method. So we have to import this list. So return service dot get all task details. You have to create this get all task in the service layer now. So we are passing now with the help of the repository. We have to get our details. So find all. This method will return whatever the data is present in the database with the help of this. So I have forgot to return mapping. To handle our user request, we need a URL. So I will take this as a user save task. The post map is basically used for saving our data, and I will use get mapping here to get. We are getting the data from the database. You take this as user um, get get task. Get all task we can take. Yeah, basically this is the URL like user when hit in the front end. It will come here and it will call this method get all task. Okay, it will now go to service layer. Service layer have business logic. Like it will call the repository. So we can take one more API as a get mapping. Yeah, like we'll take put mapping now. If you want to update any existing task, you can use this method user update task. public. I will copy this method because it is almost similar only. We have to change same things. So in this also we are like passing the request body like yeah, as a user model. And one more thing is we are passing some ID. We are basically updating the data using particular ID. So I will take this ID here in the URL path. So I will mention as a ID. So I am binding here. In the of the path variable, we can bind our ID to the this method body or okay. So I can mention because we are taking task ID here. So this whatever ID is passing passed by user is come here. It will bind with this task ID. Okay, like this we have to and we have to pass this ID also. This task ID we have to pass and we can change the name as update update task here also. Now before going to service layer, we have to change our what you call when this ID task ID to this whatever the ID present in this user model. So I will take user model set ID is equal to so what I did here means we are setting this ID as a this task ID is given to this uh, user model task ID. It will bind basically it will bind the whatever the ID is passing by the user into the actual passing ID we need to update. Okay, I have to create this method. Now we can change the status code also. So just click on the update task. It will create one method in the service layer. So we have to call again same method repository.save entity. So it will save our this user model. So how to find this here? Like the save method and the update method are both like almost similar, but we instead of creating new ID, we are taking the already existing like we are setting already existing ID. So it will update. If it is not present, it will create new ID, like whatever the ID is passing by the user. If it does not exist, it will create a new data. Now let's configure the properties so we can interact with the database. So this is our Spring application name. In order to connect with our database and some Hibernate properties, we need some properties. So I already have in the my notepad. I will copy paste this. So these are the properties which we need to connect with our database. First one is the server port. Server port is basically to run our application on the Tomcat server.port. And this Spring data source URL is our database connection. And this is also port number of the database. And this is our database username, and this is password property, which is this is the Hibernate GPA Hibernate ED auto means. If we can write create also here, create, what will do create means every time we run this application, whatever data is persisted from this user, it will collapse, like it will delete. If we use update here, if we use update here, whatever data we saved previously, so it will be there in the database. So this is the one user like this. And show SQL tool. Spring.jpa.show SQL tool means it will give like whatever the SQL queries are executed in the running program, it will show in the console. So so developer can easily debug, or you can, if any if any errors, you can easily debug. And this is Spring MVC format date is, yeah, whatever, if we use any date for like date variables in our application, so it will be in the format of year, month, and date. So it is, so now we can change our database name, like we'll give this name as a user task. You don't need to change anything now. I think you are good to go now. So right click on the project, run as Spring Boot application. See, I will get one error. So I said, no, we'll get why we are getting error means suitable driver. We are not able to find the suitable driver because we are not configuring our this resource like with the help, like we have to configure this resource in the class path. So to configure this resource, we have to click on the project and click on run as and run configuration. So we have to click on class path in user entries. We can use this click on advanced, add folder. So whatever project we can do it. So we will go to task management. We will click on SRC. Here we have database the configuration properties. So I will click on the resources. Select resources and click on apply and run. See, our application is now running successfully. You can see there is this our table also created like with the task details and I think our you can see the port numbers also where our application is running.
See, we can see here our template is started in 9086 and also our table is created in the MySQL database. We can check here before I will go to my database MySQL workbench. It, before it was not there, I think. You can see task management, no task management here. When I refresh, you can see, okay, this user task management. And this is we don't have, as of now, we don't have any data. This is how we can check this our database is connected with our application or not. So our database is not connected with the like our application is connected with the database now. We can check our APIs also now. I will go to controller. We will check on my first API that is post mapping. User task. To hit the APIs, we have one Postman REST client which will help for checking your APIs. So we have to install this Postman API if you want to work with the REST APIs to hit our APIs. Please, like first, yeah, we will get an interface like in the Postman. First, we have to select whatever the request you want to send. Like we have different types of APIs like get post, put, patch, delete, add, and option. Whatever relate like whatever needed for you, you can select. So first I will check the post API. So whatever the local host. So we'll copy this API. Okay. Our application is running on 9086 on localhost. So I will make sure correct user save task. In body, we are passing as a JSON type. We can have multiple like in text, JavaScript, HTML as a like for our for as of now we are sending in the JSON format. So whatever the details We have to pass here now. I'll copy this. We have total four fields. One is ID. Second one is username. Third one task title. Task description. Functionality. You can give whatever name, username as a string. So you have to make sure that our field name or should be same. We'll go to username, task ID, task title, description. Okay, task title, description. Description. Okay. I have to change this ID. So we are passing integer. So I will take first row from one. Let so make sure that you enter correct details like this path also and this JSON data also. Otherwise it will give some errors. Okay, let's hit the send button. See our response is like we got a response is 200 or means it is saving our data successfully and it is responding back with like this model what data is here. So it is so first our API is working now. We can check our details are saved or not. So this is how like our data is reflecting in the database now perfectly. So second API I'm checking for get API. I we need to user get all task. We not need to pass anything here because we, we are getting the correct response. Like it is already whatever the data present in the database is reflecting. So our second API is also working fine. So to check our third API, you have to click the plus symbol to create a new request. I will click on the port. See first I'll copy this data because I'm updating here same data. So in the body, first select raw JSON. We'll copy paste this. So I will change the username Prabhu123 to Prabhu. Okay. So let's hit the URL. See, we are getting success response also. It is changed our username Prabhu122 to Prabhu. So you can check in the database. Before it is Prabhu123. When I refresh, you get Prabhu. So it is saving our data, like it is updating our data successfully using ID. Okay. I think you understood how our Spring application is connected with the database and how it is running on the Tomcat server.